So if you are a beginner in tailoring and then you are thinking of what equipment, what do I need to start up my training, then welcome to the right page. I'm Style by Benlove and I'll be listing list of some things. I'll be naming a list of things you need to get as a beginner who wants to learn how to sew. The first one would be your scissors. Your scissors is used to cut. You need your scissors to cut a lot of things minus paper. If you will be cutting your pattern paper, then you need an extra scissors. Why? Because when using the same scissors which you use for your fabric, it can make it blunt. Do you understand? So for your pattern drafting, get a separate scissors for cutting. Then the second one would be your tape. You need your tape for accurate measurements. Without measurements, I'm telling you, there's nothing you're doing there as a tailor. So after which, the next will be your chalk, your tailor's chalk. Your tailor's chalk will be used to mark your measurements. Do you understand? To tick the points in order not to forget what you're working on. Then for measurement also, you'll be needing your pencil, your eraser, and then your sharpener when working on a pattern paper. So the next will be having a sewing machine. If you have money, you go for the industrial machine. If you do not have a lot of money, then you can go for your manual machines. It is very important. It is very important to own a machine so that, except you are in a fashion academy, but if you are in a tailor shop where you learn and then go home, then please get a sewing machine, because after each class I would advise that you practice what you've been taught. So the next one will be your pin. Yes, as a beginner, you need your pin for folding fabrics together and other things. You need your pin. Do you understand? Then the next is your bobbling. Your bobbling is an enclosement that carries your reeler. Do you understand? Your reeler, the shuttle. Hmm? Then the next will be your thread. You need different colors of thread. If you cannot afford the big big ones, then buy the small small ones. But it is better to buy different colors in the big ones. Do you understand? Because you'll be using it, it lasts longer. Then the next one will be your notepad. A designer, you cannot do without a notepad. You cannot do without a notepad. It is very important to jot things out that you've been taught. Do you understand? So the next one will be your machine needles. If you are using a manual machine, you go for a manual sewing needle. If it's industrial, it is different. If you have a weaving machine, it is different. They all have different needles with different sizes. Then you need your ironing table and your pressing iron. Very important. You cannot do without your ironing table. For you to have the basis, the good foundation of being a good designer, you need your ironing table, your pressing iron, everything that makes up. You need your ironing table. So with this, you are set to start. Then as time goes on, you buy other professional um, items you need for your work. I wish you good luck. Bye.